DCA Adventure is rated F for fucking awesome.
Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what's going on? What up, what up, what up? We got your favorite peeps here on an FA Friday. We got Gundy coming in here now. We got Mikkel up there. Yo, and myself, Nemesis. What's going on, all you FA peeps out there? What's going on? So, Nico, what's going on, my dude? Dropping that FA in here, man. First one in. Yeah. And you guys are sliding on in. Certainly smash that lizardy like button. Subscribe, hit the bell notification. All good things.
At the very least. All of them. All at the same time.
Right. Everything now. What's going on, Tech Man? What's up, Sadie? What up, Jason the Tiger Osborne?
Tiger time.
And Jason's like, funny, I have notifications turned on, but never receive them. The suppression is real. I repeat, the suppression is real. I'm just saying. There is such suppression of this channel. It should be in the thousands of viewers, but
you're like, these guys been out for so long. They've been here so long. Why they no do nothing?
Right?
I don't know, man. Like,
we don't talk like the narrative wants.
So ungoverned.
There's a narrative?
I think so, but it's
not here.
Yeah, not here.
I follow.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you follow?
We're there may be.
I follow DCA Venture.
No, me too.
No way, me too.
Bro.
There's too much free thinking radicals over there. YouTube has to suppress that.
Man,
it might catch on like a disease. Free thinking radicals, people who actually think and do their own bloody research.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds scary when you say it like that. Free thinking radical.
Trying to say CBS
sounds kind of scary,
right? They're radicalized, man. Yeah. They're completely radical, man. They're like, wow, they're free thinking, and they're right. How does it happen?
It's like calling people, like rebels, but like in most movies, the rebel isn't a bad guy.
No, not at all.
Or the collective of rebels are not bad people.
Right. Just saying.
I mean, I don't know much about much, but
Well,
right. I mean, we may be classified as rebels here, believing in that that sweet busy Bitcoin.
I mean,
there's some
not
rebels that believe in that stuff.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
There's that.
It's worth it.
Totally worth it.
Goats, my goats.
Goats the goats.
Goats.
Who's goats?
And what's with this title you have chosen, my good sir? The ETF delayed?
The ARK ETF got delayed.
Oh, just the ARK. Oh, okay. It's just the ARK. There was a lot of people that had thought that was gonna happen. You hope somebody that's been playing on the other side would be able to set up an ETF a little bit better than people from the crypto side. A little bit more experience type of deal.
Yeah, right.
You were hoping that Kathy Wood with ARK investment, her ETF would have gone through. But there was a lot of signs and signals that it was just not going to happen.
You know what else also didn't happen?
What's that?
Sam Bankman-Fried didn't get it. He got his bail revoked. He didn't get that get out of jail free card. They revoked his bail. So he like staying in prison.
Dang,
Fucker.
that's rough. I mean, when you scam billions of dollars from governments, what do you expect?
That would mean that they found something.
Yeah, there was something
They found a lot of things, I'm sure.
Well, no, because you got to think of it this way. Their hands are kind of tied on this one, and people don't realize this.
Because of where he was arrested at, right?
Right. You get it, Gandhi. He was basically pulled in from another country, and there are agreements.
Yes, extradition agreements.
Right. So they have to play the case in a specific way, and I'm not like completely versed in all of the legalese behind it, but I think that there was like they were about ready to release him because they didn't have a strong enough case, and there were certain things that they weren't able to go after him.
His lawyers appealed his bail. They tried to appeal his bail revocation within an hour of his arrest.
I mean, that's just, you do
that's
that.
just standard. Yeah, that's standard protocol.
Lawyer does that automatically.
There was one right before that, and I just scrolled right back. I don't know. I don't see it anymore.
It's like they're not going to release
Crypto
somebody
panic is hard to like navigate sometimes. It's just
yeah. But it's like you're not going to see somebody who you think is an actual flight risk to be a flight risk. Parents are millionaires, so he comes with
here it is.
For money.
He was jailed for tampering with witnesses.
Oh, nice.
Tampering with witnesses is what they got.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's felony charges.
And he's been sentenced as of today. Like he's going to jail because it violated his bail.
Oh yeah, no shit, it did.
Yeah.
See, you couldn't keep your frickin' nose clean, you dumbass. What a retard.
Posting it in the group chat is that right there.
Hey, well, I'm always a fan of the motto: if you're gonna do the crime, expect to do the time.
I thought that was the old model.
You'll never be disappointed.
That was the old one. I think it's the same model.
Sure about that?
Yo, yeah, I know. You're gonna.
It doesn't work like that anymore. It seems like
when you're dealing with all those zeros, man. I mean, all these people, they're gonna get their karma, dude. It's gonna happen. We're just gonna have to sit back until they all eat themselves. So we'll be fine. I mean, once you start crunching down on one of them, like they fold over on each other like crazy people, man. There's no loyalty in that group. They're like, oh, you want to send me to prison for how many years? I'll give you this guy and this guy and this guy and who I get this stuff from and this guy over here. Yeah. Canaries. They're all liberal canaries, man. They're like, please don't hurt me, please. I'm too delicate to go to prison. Well, it's like I said, you mess around with the big boys and you got burned, and then you're gonna screw around and get busted doing some other stupid shit. That's just not. When you're riding with Biden, your crimes would be sliding. That's nice. I like that.
I mean, look at all those mostly peaceful protests that happened around the country.
And then you sneeze in the Capitol and go to prison for since
for taking some photos. After you were told it was okay to enter.
your government sedition charge because you sneezed while you.
But they did let the guy with the horn, the horn guy.
Yeah.
They did let him go.
Yeah, but when? What time is it? What year is it? Like, no, thank
Well,
you.
they had convicted him, and they just like they're like
they let him go because
it, yeah.
the evidence of like someone let him in the building.
Yeah, there was like all this new counter evidence and stuff that they were. It was like you see the Capitol Police escorting him around, showing him around, and he's like, "Oh yeah," you see him acting like a tourist, dude.
Yeah,
He was like posing for pictures and stuff.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome.
You know who was in charge of security in the area of DC at that time? It was
I don't know. Terrible people.
She was offered National Guard and she turned them down. So that's
usually like you have like your A crew and your B crew. So this was like the Z crew.
Yeah.
Like they were like like the rest of the alphabet was on vacation.
It's almost like it was planned.
Right.
So guys, this would be the time Z crew is on guard.
News only puts out A+ quality content that can't be verified by anyone.
Whole thing was a setup. Hey, life is a setup.
No, you see, you want to know how you can you can do this. You see, we could talk about this in this direction because Tim Pool, IRL, who's NewsGuard certified, was talking about stuff like this. We could just reference somebody like that, and that really just screws with YouTube's algorithm because now it needs to sit there and link up over there and going, oh man, check and mate.
The AI just pooped its pants.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Don't come from me. I'm just
right. We're just talking about what some other NewsGuard certified content creator on YouTube, timcast.irl.
Quick, don't look over here.
Right, do not look over here no more.
Hamster wheel.
Not the YouTube channel you seek.
And he's like when he goes live, that's like 30,000 people watching.
Boom. I mean, that would be cool, but like, I don't know if I'd want that much responsibility.
He doesn't do anything more than he already does right now. You know,
that's a lot of people.
It's just a lot of people.
True that.
It's like imagine doing what we're doing right now, but 30,000 people tuning in.
I mean,
like we're actually bringing good content.
I'd have a feeling that
it's a lot of people.
just be the same. You know, you don't get the kind of following like not doing the stuff you say you're doing. You know what I mean? You got to be pretty like original, not like making stuff up. I don't know. I try not to be too false. If you know what I mean.
No, you just gotta stay true. You can't vary from who you are and your principles. That's the trick. And that's where like your mainstream news, that's where they falter. They stop being true. At some point in time, they sold out.
Yeah. Bigly.
Oh yeah.
Big time. Big time.
It's really funny that you have to go to alternative news in order to get a better understanding of what's going on in the real world.
Not even alternative news. Like people don't understand. The only reason TikTok is the way it is because of the way people are using it.
Yeah, I still don't use TikTok now. I won't get on the TikTok train.
I mean, at the end of the day, the big G in the sky has all your data and all your info anyway. So
it's not so much that,
bro. I've learned some wild shit on TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, like some things that I have never even learned. I was like, that is like some of the smartest, dumbest shit I've ever seen. And I'm like,
Dude,
wow, that really changed. Some things I've
There's
changed.
really hard
that
to-
stuff
you have to
exists.
train the algorithm to work for you, though.
That
Right.
stuff exists on YouTube also.
No.
You gotta be very. No, not all of it, man. There's no way.
Not even half of it.
No, it's fucking impossible.
Why do you
I
think they
think
want
it's
it gone so bad? Because they don't control it.
I got there people out there teaching you how to do all sorts of stuff that
Yeah, I mean,
you're better off learning.
don't get me
You know
wrong.
what I
If you
mean?
just sign up, like if you got a new phone, signed up, and you put down like you're a male over 30, it's just gonna give you girls shaking their asses. You have to keep scrolling through all that crap until you get to like the good stuff. And then once it realizes that you're not interested in things like that, like the whole algorithm shifts. Like that's why they're so popular, because their algorithm is that good.
It's pretty intense. It's like scary intense.
Yeah. It's there to keep you scrolling.
Yeah, for sure.
It will too.
Oh yeah.
I ain't no fucking lie.
I hear that people get that turns into like a time hole, and it's like granted I understand that
So,
like using YouTube,
I'll find
being
myself
on
scrolling,
Google,
Yeah,
anything
it'll
like that,
happen.
you're leaking information everywhere. I get it. I would just try to limit my direct information going into other countries' hands. That's one. And the other thing is
All the
it's just,
companies are selling it to other countries anyway. I mean,
and then the other aspect of it is that I just don't like the AI that they have.
it's scary. That's the reason why you shouldn't like it. It's terrifying.
So
I find it.
you
I
can
find
call
it
me.
terrifying.
You can call me old. It's okay. I just
I'm gonna
don't.
call you old. I think it's terrifying.
Look at you. You still have some color in your beard, so you know.
You're all right. Listen
You
here,
know,
Pappy.
it's
It's
like-
okay.
Right, I just it's like I feel like the oddball. Like everybody I know,
Yeah.
messes
I'll
with.
find myself scrolling a little bit. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
see,
But
I won't.
I'll go on like
go on
binges
any
of like
of the,
not touching it for like
AI
weeks,
anything.
like a month. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
like
I don't-
picture AI, chat
it's not my
AI,
necessity.
that chat GPT crap. I don't do any of that. That stuff's dangerous because you're just feeding
Oh my god, yeah,
You're
and
feeding the Borg,
pretty much.
oh yeah,
quite literally.
like some of that AI generated like Bitcoin art that I've been snagging here and there.
See, look at this guy.
Yeah, some of that
I
AI,
haven't been
Snagging
using
NFTs. He's been snagging it, so therefore he.
I went and messed with it one time, and I was just like, "Oh, good god!"
yeah,
I
Some
man.
of
haven't,
those
messed with, I haven't
artwork-
messed with ordinals like personally. Like, that's the one thing I haven't touched yet.
You know,
I
what
thought
mess-
about it, but I don't really care enough to.
You know,
There's nothing like there that's built enough to like intrigue me enough to like take my time to mess with it. You know what I mean? I want something there. There's nothing there.
Something freaked me out the other day. I don't really fly very much, but I was looking at flights on like Google Flights, right? And they have a peculiar a column now that gives you your carbon.
Yeah, your carbon
Your
footprint,
carbon
like your
How
flight.
much of your carbon and
Yeah.
if you go like during like lunchtime flights, the carbon is plus 63%. And if you go at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's like negative 30.
You can go into like stats of your
You get a
plane.
carbon bonus on your footprint if you take an
Yep.
early flight. I'm
Yep.
like, dude, this is they're setting up everything for the CBDC, one world government control. Over.
They've been setting it up for a while.
Like
right?
this
Come on! Like you
green
already need to have passports. How much more of a human right violation do you need?
You don't need that passport, but I
You
don't
can't
have
cross
passport.
borders without it.
Obviously.
You technically can't leave the country without it.
Right.
Facts. I cannot leave the country without a passport.
And that's and
Facts.
to some extent that's a human rights violation.
You know
That you need to have permission in order to just leave the country.
Well, you know, you have to go get your birth certificate back if you want to reverse that.
Now I understand going into somebody else's country and them screening you coming into their country. They want to make sure that you're not on America's Most Wanted. They don't want you to be an international terrorist. I get that. And then they'll have you, because you're coming into their country, they get to ask you, hey, what are you doing here? You know, I understand that you're trying to protect your border. But for a citizen to leave the country, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yo, Wheeling Crypto, what is
you
up?
know, they
Brian,
do
Brian.
international area
Welcome.
of the airport, you know. So technically, you're not like
Take me
I
out and
I guess.
The wife is like, you know, like for why we're screening to leave is like because we're trying to make sure somebody didn't convict, you know, they're not under a conviction, or you know, they're wanting to be arrested, or you know, they're trying to get them arrested already. Now, if they've got a warrant out for their arrest, okay, I get that. You can that's an easy screening, right when you buy a ticket. You know, you're getting nabbed right there. You know, you got to provide credentials. But I would say that, you know, it's like when it came down to criminals, think of it this way. Right now, if they get busted and they're a day or two out from their court date, there's really nothing on their record. They're able to freely move around, even though they're about to go to court.
Yeah, because you're not technically, there's no bond out for you.
Right. Yeah, you're not. You know, not. They're just building a case up against you.
Oh, yeah. Flee the country early. Peace. See you.
Right.
Never come back later. See ya.
But, you know, it's like, and then they treat everybody like they're some kind of terrorist that's going to be bringing on bombs onto all the planes just because it happened, you know, a long time ago.
Hey, well, you know what? I caught a terrorist. Said no TSA agent ever. Never caught one. They're horrible, man. Like, people test them all the time. They get like 80% of the guns and knives through.
I know. It's really funny. You statistically look at it. It's like the number one thing found in people's carry-on luggage is a compact 9mm.
I mean, you can take them on the plane. You just got to put them in a lockbox and throw them underneath.
Yeah, you have to have them disassembled, firing pin separated.
You just take the slide off. That's not very hard.
No, they want you to remove the firing pin.
If it's in a lock with TSA locks, I don't think you have to do that.
That's what everybody I know, that whenever they say they just completely break them down. It's just the easiest way. And then you don't bring any rounds with you.
Oh yeah, bullets is in the story.
Oh yeah, you buy them wherever you're going.
Yeah, your destination will be able to supply you with that proper ammunition, sir.
Right.
And if they can't, then you probably shouldn't be taking your gun there anyway.
Right. No kidding. Right.
I don't know.
Sure,
Man.
it's a common round that anywhere is going to be able to hold.
That everybody carries every time, all the time. You know.
Right. You want it to be as common as a 9mm Luger round.
Yeah, you want to see a gun on somebody's hip as common as, like, you know, those pocket knives everybody carries around. Shoot.
Oh, it's funny you say that.
Yeah.
Pocket knife. Why have it in a pocket?
Like
Just have it around your neck on a pouch.
Swing it around and catch people in the face with it.
Got this at that homesteading conference I went to.
Yeah, nice. Was it fun?
Oh yeah, it was a bunch
Did
of
you learn a lot
fun.
of shit?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what it's about. You
cool.
know? Elevate your own games.
Heck yeah. I got to watch a chicken get slaughtered.
Oh,
I had no expectations.
Do they wring its neck first, or they just chop it off alive?
So again, I had no expectations,
Yeah.
but this was not one of them.
You're avoiding the question, sir.
So it was a very I've
Peter's
seen.
not. Peter, don't listen.
I did not expect this. Okay, so the Stacy was doing the class, which is from Duggan's Off Grid and Doug and Stacy YouTube channel that I watch, and she took her Cornish cross hens and held it by its feet, laid it with its like belly down, laid a board over the back of the bird's head, stepped on both sides of it with a quick yank, unearthed this bird from existence. And left the head on the ground. I was like, oh my lord. That was very fast, very efficient, and a older, tiny woman was able to do it. I was like, that means anybody can do it this way.
That's right. That's probably why.
So
he does
there was
it.
a second bird. She let an 11-year-old kid do this.
Yeah.
This kid was all excited about doing it. He's like, I want to try that.
He like, hell yeah, I want to kill me a chicken.
I want to cut something.
I want to kill it before I eat it.
And he does it, and I get sprayed this time. It's like,
Oh.
I felt like I was at a Gilligan show. But there was no fruit involved. So it was interesting. I got to see that. So and I got the defeather. I helped defeather one of them. I was like,
Not only
okay,
did you see that, you felt it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
felt the experience. It's a whole
yeah.
other feeling.
And plucking them, when you get right up on these birds, man, they
In all
stink.
the senses.
They stink when you get right up on them. They definitely have a smell to them.
What?
Not
dead stuff?
horrible.
Smelling
Not
pretty
horrible.
rank.
It just smells like it has a very unique
It
smell.
smells like, you know,
Dead- yeah,
like
dead
dead
smell
chicken.
basically.
I cannot like tell you. It's just really gamey.
Mm.
And the way that she did it, like she let the bird bleed out and stuff, you know, does that process, and then she
Runs
dunked it in the water right afterwards, just not hot water, cold water, like rinsing the bird off. She's like, you
Yeah,
kind of
getting
want to do this.
getting
Then
the
she
poop
puts it
chunks
in the
off.
hot water, and then I helped pluck the bird. And I was like, oh, this is different. I'm a city boy. I just came out of my element. The day before, I watched a rabbit get slaughtered, and I learned a lot about that. Actually, that's actually kind of funny. So the Lewis and Clark adventures, you know how they all died, you know, of starvation, and people wondered, well, they were eating rabbit. They had rabbits the whole time, and the difference was they were eating American rabbits, which were the cottontail and the long hair. They have next to zero fat on them.
Yeah,
So they're not the European rabbit. Now the
Yeah.
European rabbit and the American rabbit are not the same rabbit. They can't even breed with each other in any way, shape, or form. The European rabbit has fat content to them. So you can actually, that's why on the what was it, the Nina Pinta and the Santa Maria, whenever they did their voyage, they had European meat rabbits on there. They populated very quickly, and they were
birds.
and they fed you, so it was very good. And watching them take the pelt off of a bunny rabbit, again, I did not know what I was expecting to see on that one, but his explanation right before he did it was, think of wet sock and give it a pull.
That's right.
And I was just like, oh my Lord, he just turned that thing inside out.
That's right. It was too little.
I was just like, no, he cut around the feet and, basically separated it, its backsides from the pelt, and then just pulled straight down. And as he pulled straight down, like the pelt turned inside out, and I was just like, oh my Lord. And he's like,
oh my God.
And this is like first thing in the morning too, guys.
Yeah, right after your breakfast.
Oh yeah, and it's like, and I'm just sitting there, just like looking at it, and he's like, see, this is where all the fat content is. This is why you can survive on this. And he's like, what I also like about this, other than chickens, is that there's no smell.
Yeah.
And you want to know why we have a Kentucky Fried Chicken and not a Kentucky Fried Rabbit?
No.
Rabbits took an extra 3 weeks.
Oh, to get full size?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's actually a little interesting fun fact. The reason why rabbits didn't like take off as a staple is that chickens got to slaughter age faster.
And now they just like do it automatically. So, oh, you're alive for 3 weeks here. You're fully sized. There you go.
No, like your biggest
Rip
one,
them
the
up.
Cornish cross hens, they're like anywhere from like 7 to 9 weeks.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like the not safe to eat genetically modified chickens. The stuff we've been eating since the 80s, the hormone ones.
But the problem with like Cornish cross hens is that you can't breed them. It's an unstable breed.
Hens?
Cornish cross hens. They have to use the parent birds to make them. If you try to breed a Cornish cross hen with another Cornish cross hen, it'll revert back to the parent birds.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, man.
I was like, wow,
that's a gift for playing God. Jeez.
we're genetically crossing certain genomes together in the birds in order to make them.
It's the same. We do the same with dogs. That's why purebred dogs are kind of like, they're a little off, and some of them are kind of mentally unstable.
That's because they're inbred for the last 100 years.
they're all related because, like, they all share the same. Like,
they're like, well, they're brothers of brothers of brothers and sisters of sisters. There's no more. Hey, that's my fifth cousin. No. That's my sister twice removed. That's the whole inbreeding of dogs. Purebred dogs are inbreds.
Dogs, I mean, and people pay so much money with dogs with papers, and I'm like,
because they're getting specific genetics that they're looking for and no impurities, but they don't realize that it comes not very good.
The DTD is strong because they've been inbreeding for so long.
I love when people get poodles and they're like, I don't know why my poodle's so mean. And it's like, you obviously never did research on what you just bought.
Yeah, even if you could go back to like the old country and get some lineage from a true poodle, like You're
They're
probably
hunting
paying
dogs.
thousands of dollars for this dog.
They're hunting dogs. They're normally have a dominance and aggression. And then you take those same dogs and you miniaturize them, they get worse than a Chihuahua.
Little man syndrome.
No, it's like their brain, it does something to their brain when they get them small. Yeah, not a stable breed. We're because of at the homestead we were talking about home defense and having breeds of dogs that are good for home defense.
Well, I've met quite a few friendly pit bulls in my day. People are always scared of these things.
Oh yeah, I have no problem with pitties.
It depends on the owner, really, but
yeah, it's a direct sign of the owner if it's got a lick of being mean in it.
oh yeah, for sure, 100%. Most of them, it's really weird. Like the first couple times I've seen them with tails and ears, you're like, whoa, what the hell is that? So used to when they really hit the scene, when they were cool back in the day, that everybody chopped their ears and docked their tails, and I was like,
oh yeah.
It's like just to get the fighter look. But they
that's like I've had big old like bulldogs and stuff like that, and and the owners will. I'm like, is it friendly? And they're like, oh yeah. And that thing is like all up over me and stuff. Yeah.
His shoulders are bigger than yours.
Right. You're like,
yo, what's up, man?
Awesome.
Like I just got back from the gym.
Right.
Oh no, Mikhail, come back.
You got something for the class?
Yeah, what you got for the class?
It looks
You
delicious.
got munchies and shit.
Maybe.
I'm all
Maybe
freaking
I'm-
sunburnt from being at the zoo today.
Damn.
At the zoo today, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Fun time. Take the bait.
Number one favorite animal at the zoo you've seen today. Go.
Today?
Yeah.
The lemurs were pretty cool. We went to the small mammal house. I don't think my wifey's been in there because it's always closed when we go. And check that out. I mean, we did the whole run. Got the elephants are pretty cool. Everybody likes the elephant.
Y'all zoo's like twice the size of mine.
I mean, we had a reptile house, ape house. It's the DC zoo, by the way. It's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, the DC Zoo, from what I understand, is kind of like the Chicago Zoo.
Yeah. It's definitely not in its heyday anymore.
Same thing with the Chicago Zoo.
It's kind of falling off in the city, man. It's terrible.
Oh yeah.
We definitely noticed the shrubbery and stuff just wasn't as kept well as last times we've been there. It's sad, man. They cut back on workers. It's you don't see nobody working in that bitch anymore. You're like, where the fuck is everybody?
Well, there are less and less people. They're not it's not an attraction anymore when half the country is glued to their phone, the other half's glued to their computer. And it's like it's okay to be like that in the evening time. It's fine. But when there's sunlight out, man, you should be outside experiencing life. It's if you've never been to the local museum, you should always try to experience it once.
Yeah. Get out there and do something.
There's always local history to learn about and stuff like that. And hell, man, there's stuff that you can learn about that survival stuff. If you're into survivaling, being a prepper, I should say. You should be able to learn about, herbs and plants.
No matter what, I'm down to survive, right?
Right.
I'm into surviving.
Right. I like staying
That would
alive.
be great, yeah.
I like staying alive. I like.
Eating, fucking,
but
stuff like that.
learning about, herbs and stuff that people disregard as a weed, actually has medicinal uses, and you've been paying top dollar to exterminate food out of your lawn.
That's terrible.
Right? You got like lamb's quarter and stuff like that. You could add that to your
Oh yeah, dandelions even.
Yeah, oh my god! In the springtime though. In the springtime.
Oh yeah, no, it's past dandelion season.
Yeah. It's spring. That's a springtime delicacy.
Grab all that stuff up, grind them, get the leaves,
clover. People miss clover. You can eat a clover. It tastes like lemon.
Yeah. And
you
like
can
honeysuckles.
You can make a tea out of that stuff. It's delicious.
Honeysuckle's wild all around where I live, so like you can just go out in the woods and eat it.
Right. Comfrey.
The only rules I've heard about like eating plants and wildlife is don't eat anything that's near the road.
Well, isn't that like for external?
No.
What?
Well, yeah, it'll heal a wound.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
But
yeah. So
morsels are a big
so
thing
comfrey. You can sit there. You see comfrey. You can throw that in your yard to help amend the soil. But if you have a cut or something like that, you can use a comfrey leaf and actually wrap it up on there to help stop the bleeding.
Oh, yeah. I got a book of a paperback book of a bunch of herbs and shit in the area.
Right. Everybody should have something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because let's be real.
Prep to the max.
When the shit does hit the fan, you ain't gonna be able to check Google. And trust me,
Google will be gone.
Down forever. You're never gonna Google again.
you're gonna be sitting there going, man, what weird guys do I know that were talking about this crazy shit years ago?
Who has ammo and books at their house?
You know, what's really funny is that I find that a lot of people that are in crypto are preppers.
At least some way, form, or fashion.
They're not in they're just being in Bitcoin alone is like an FU to the government and money and shit.
Right. You're prepping for the impending doom with the hodl mentality.
I mean, if you're a long-term hodler of Bitcoin, you just pretty much middle fingered the government's money.
Yep.
Like whether you like it or not, like that's what happened. You did it.
Like it's like I'm all about the get on zero, $0.
$0.
Unbank yourself.
Hey, the tiger wants to know when the family mine's coming back. Dang, man. They just shut down like last week.
Felt like last week, but it's like
it's still fresh.
It's still pretty fresh. That's 100% sure. But right now, I'm not really sure. Right now, it's just kind of recuperating funds, getting things squared away.
What is it?
Definitely.
What you find now is going to be the rent's going to be to the fucking roof.
And if we ever went for like another family line, like we wouldn't be like renting another place.
No
more renting.
That'd be the way to go.
Well, unless you find somebody like who's already has a space set up.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like free setup, you know what I mean? Like,
not everybody can have a sweet
deploy.
little setup like the Django, man.
The Django.
I mean, well, he got rid of that place, man.
I know.
Dipped out. He's done.
But that was a sweet setup.
Place.
That was a
a
sweet
nice
setup.
place.
What do you have? What kind
He
of
took
power?
over an old data center.
Yeah.
And it was all gravy until the AC system quit.
The chiller.
Yeah.
Oh
One of the exchanges for the chiller unit fucking crapped out on him.
Oh yeah,
And
to get
it was going to
chiller motors
cost
like 20 grand.
way too much to do the repairs because
Oh
it was
yeah,
one of the big
a fuck ton.
industrial ones, dude. It was
Yep.
like, oh my god.
Yep.
So he tried doing it with fans, and he was just finding out that he couldn't
Oh,
pull the airflow through the building.
not fast enough. No, hell no.
No, it was just too much area that he was trying to do it in.
Oh, so like even if you had 400 fans, it still wouldn't work.
Right. Because you got to think of how
Place
many
is too big.
CFM the fans are that was moving air through the building are. know-
Was it a raised floor? Do you know if it was raised floor and they were pumping the AC through the floor or what?
Not a race floor.
No,
Oh,
yeah, I
raised
don't
floor.
think so. Yeah, this was an older standard.
I mean, raised floor has been around for a while.
Yeah, I think this was like a really old standard. Like I haven't seen like an old chiller unit like that since like the early 90s.
I mean, that's all they use now for the glycol chillers is chillers up the top.
No, this had like its own like little thing off to the side of the building.
Yeah, they run the
Like-
glycol through them.
Yeah.
You know, basically it's like a giant, huge car radiator out, and they run the shit through them and the fans over them, and they pump it back into the building.
Yeah.
It's basically like a water cooler setup for your CPU, except on a building skies.
Right. And he was, and the airflow that was going through that building was like crazy amount of CFM to make that air movement like that.
Yeah, I mean, because the old style was like they just cooled down the room as cold as they can get it,
Yeah.
and I mean that's terrible. Like that's the most uneconomically way to do it, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, and that was that was this. This was a total loss system.
Shit, at that point, I would have fucking raised the floor and pumped the shit underneath. Then all you have to do is have heat stacks and like 3 or 4 chiller units or crack units like inside the room,
Right.
recirculating everything.
But he didn't own the building, so it,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
fuck that, then.
yeah. It was an agreement that he had with the landlord, and whenever the market started dropping off, yeah.
I can't do this anymore, guys. I'm going home.
He's still doing it. He just couldn't. It was like getting to that break even point of where it's like it doesn't make sense to continue to keep doing it.
Yep. I mean, we all know how that is. I've had projects die myself, you know.
Spending more money than you're bringing in.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, you just have to know when it's, time to fucking cut line and bail, you know. You don't want to lose your shirt on something you know that's gonna fail anyway. Or
Yep.
like you guys were reaching your threshold. It's it sucks. But at least you were smart enough to know what time it was and get out while the getting's good.
Mikkel's dozing over there. If we keep going, I wonder if we can watch him pass
Hey,
out.
you can't trust people who win all the time anyway, you know.
Not always.
Like how many people do we know that have had like losses? Like everybody, right? Like if you're not out there trying,
Definitely.
like and you can't trust the guys who win all the time. You know, they're doing something weird.
If
You
the
gotta
person
put some
that's
walls on.
winning is always winning, look at the crowd that he has around him and see if they're all losing all the time. Because the wins have to come from somewhere.
Hey man, I know about this project. It's pretty sweet.
People are like, "Oh, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. And he's always making money." And I'm like, "Yeah, because you're the mark.
Yeah.
As you're buying, he's selling.
That's like how
You're
you
buying
always
his
like-
liquidity. Thanks."
You always like to say what Facebook is free because you're the
You're the
profit.
product.
Yeah.
YouTube's free because you're the product. Look at how
Yeah.
many ads they served you.
Oh yeah. Be like, we can usher in some ad-free content for this much more money a month.
Yeah.
Like usually it's worth it if you're consuming that much of one entity of like if YouTube is your life, it's probably worth it to get no ads. we watch Netflix the most, so we always get Netflix no ads. It's so much nicer if you use it all the time, that is.
Okay.
Ooh. Damn, man. Where's the DogeLord, man? Is he out there hustling freaking solar panels right now?
DogeLord wouldn't have liked the one conference talk.
Conference talk.
Yeah, one of them he would not have been a big fan of. It was about solar.
It was about solar.
Yeah. And it really poo-poos on like companies that DogeLord works for. Oh, yeah, they did.
Because they offer it to him for free, but then they technically own your house until then.
Right, and you don't want to put it over a shingled roof.
Over top.
Yeah. Which is where a lot of them are being installed. People are like, oh, yeah, it's perfect because you just had your roof installed, right? Well, the panels have a potential of outlasting your roof. And it becomes 3 times the labor in order to re-roof your roof afterwards.
Well, I mean, you're going to pay regardless.
Oh, it is way more. Just on that part. That's just that one part. And then the other part is you're not self-reliant in any way, shape, or form. If the grid goes down, so do you.
What a big row.
And you're like, and people are like, well, why would that be? And it's like, because you're selling the power out and it's offsetting the power that you're using. So the power is never yours to begin with.
Yeah.
You're not generating any
so
of your
while you're
power.
While you're at work, your solar power is feeding the grid, right?
Right.
So when you come back, when you turn on all your shit, you're not going to have enough solar to be able to have all that stuff powered. So it's going to be pulling grid power. But the good thing is you have a bunch of credits from all day because you weren't there and you were feeding the grid.
Right. Now, imagine you take the whole Bitcoin ideology with your solar. And you're like, for a small amount of money, you can get a used panels, set up your own southern facing array, and have your own batteries and capture your own power and be able to distribute it any way you choose.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. A lot of times people will get these solar roofs and not have like a big battery station, right? At least nothing compared to like
so
As
long as you're not mining, you can actually put together enough power to power up your household under a normal condition for less than $3,000.
Yeah, well, how many batteries are you gonna have to store up for that?
Actually, it's not that many, and it fits in an area about the size of a server rack.
What are you gonna run it up to, like 48 volt or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
Rank it.
Yeah, I know you. What is it like? What is that, like 4 batteries?
Something like that. It's like four or 8 bat. Yeah, you can give it like 4 or 8 cells depending on what your overnight load is.
Run them in parallel.
Something like that. Yeah, I've lightly looked into it, so like seeing some of it is like, holy cow. Like, so now if you're trying to mine, you're don't put the batteries in. You're basically going to be mining while the sun's up.
Pretty much, yeah. While you're getting steady flow of power,
yeah. Otherwise, your batteries will go
batteries up. While you're doing it too. But I mean, you can have multiple banks of batteries too. Like you can have a dual like 48-volt setup, like four battery banks on like a redundant system running. And then, if you ever have a problem during the day or a storm comes through and you don't get that full solar charge, you'll at least have a little bit of backup,
Right. And then after that, you make sure that, if you're relying on solar as your main instrument of power and it's your own solar, back up with a generator. This way you can run all your essentials.
Yeah, it's funny whenever we run out of power or electricity, it's the backup is always gas.
Yep.
It's for everything. Your Tesla ever breaks down, just make sure to have one of those Honda powered gas generators in your trunk and you'll never run out of power again.
Tesla powered by burning fossil fuels.
No, guys, good for the environment.
Charge by
Yeah, sure. You ever tried to recycle a lithium battery? Good luck with that.
Right, that's expensive.
Yeah.
They charge you an environmental hazard tax, bro.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my lord.
There's what, like 200 something cells in like a Tesla battery.
Something like that.
They got like those 3-cell packs, those 3-cell laptop battery packs in like Priuses and shit. And there's I think there was like 100 laptop batteries in a Prius. One of those things.
My mom's husband had a Prius, and he wanted to put in that the performance switch into it.
Yeah, where you can juice the batteries like real good.
No, what it does is it allows you to actually put the electric motor on as an assist to the gas motor.
I mean, that's already happening with the.
This was early day tech for it. This was like before that was really a thing. People were realizing that you can add on another almost 100 horsepower by engaging the electric motor with their little 4-cylinder, and it was a whole manual switch setup. You had to like wire it all into everything so that your chip system would take control and monitor everything with new parameters. It was pretty intrusive of a system, and you had to know what the hell you were doing.
Oh yeah, hybrids are a different beast, man. Like planetary gear units. Like and you got to remember, there's only 2 companies that make these things, and it was Honda and Toyota. Everybody else buys their shit from them.
Yep.
But yeah, there's like one magnetic clutch in one of the back. I think it's the back right wheel of a Prius, and if you stomp on the gas and floor it all the time, that one back right tire will go bald before all the rest of them. Because of the extra horsepower you're putting out just because you're spinning that extra tire in back there. So you'd have like a front wheel drive car, right? So you'd have the one tire fire up front from the motor. And then you'd have the hybrid system with the magnetic clutch for the back right tire. So
I always laugh because those had the low drag, the low rolling resistance tires on there. And they wanted to be pumped up to 50 psi, so they were rock hard. And they would both the back tires would wear off its inner tread because the way that they cambered out the rear.
Well, it's not just that. It's they had a really big problem when I worked at Lexus. Was the RX 400s when they came out? If you didn't get Michelin's, the back right tire would be like kaput, like 12, 13, 14,000 miles done, because just the rubber compound didn't know how to deal with all the torque from the magnetic clutch,
right,
from the hybrid system, right? So, I mean, we had people come in all the time like, oh, my hybrid, it doesn't get good gas mileage. I'm like, okay, so what do you do? What's your drive to work? Oh, I drive 70 on the highway for an hour. I'm like, yeah, that's probably why you don't save any gas.
Right? You actually have to get off of the
Yeah,
you have
hybrids were stop and go, man. Stop
right.
and go. They're the bomb.
They made sense. Well, they made the Prius made sense if you were at like a $6 a gallon of gas, because those things had like a 6-gallon
about-
gas tank in there, and it
Oh,
would
is it?
you could drive around for an hour every day, and you would have gas for 3-4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You get like 30, 40 to the gallon on the stock ones, you know. Even the
Right.
old- Tell you what though, I get 13 miles to the gallon in my Sequoia.
That's actually kind of impressive.
Oh yeah.
That's like as impressive as whenever I was able to get my Monte Carlo. It was the Dale Earnhardt edition Monte Carlo, so it had the 3.8 with the supercharger on it, and I was able to get 21 miles a gallon on it.
Wow, nice. I've been here.
It averaged its life around like 18.5 to 19 miles a gallon on average, with the way that I would womp on the throttle.
You know, you got to get after it sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Head gasket didn't like that one.
Oh no. Yeah, a little warpy.
Oh yeah. And then it smoked a jug.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, Big Rome says you better pass that shit, man. It looks like whatever you got over there is good.
Right.
It must be.
He says you're out. Out.
Big Rome's like, what kind of brakes does Tesla use? I'm actually not sure. I have not played with a Tesla like that. We had one come into the shop for a flat repair, and you have to go into where the hood of the car, where you would think the engine would be in the hood. No, it's a little mini trunk up there. And there is the jack tools right there, and you have to put these little discs underneath the car for its lifting points. So stupid.
Hey, man, it's either that or freaking crack the body frame.
Still
You
so
crack those
stupid.
rocker panels, they're gonna be pissed at you.
It's still so stupid. They should have made provisions to be able to sit there and lift this thing up with ease. I'm just saying.
Oh man, we used to have to run blocks when I worked at the high end dealerships. I always had to block the car because you don't even want to take the chance.
Yeah, I'm so used to high end cars and where you're driving them up on the 2x4s,
Yeah,
2x6s,
Yeah.
so that you can get them up high enough off the ground so that your lift now fits.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no way to get a lowered Corvette onto your lift if you've got a standard lift.
Well, even if what's even worse though is driving that bitch up on the alignment machine.
They don't go up on the drive ups. You have to have the in grounds that you drive onto.
You can, man. You got to get ramps though.
Oh no,
I
the
drive
ones
up
that I've played
these ramps
with,
all the
dude.
time.
Like you're talking a ramp
Yeah.
that would be like 20 feet long to get it up
Grape
high.
City, yeah.
Oh my god, just to
Like
slowly walk it up there.
15-foot 1x4s.
Shoot, that is so sketch, bro.
But it works.
Oh, it does, yeah.
I don't know too many places that'll do
So
that.
someone's standing behind it.
I mean,
2x4
why-
launches backwards.
That's
half of your
why
business is race Porsches during the race season. Then yeah, probably.
that's why a lot of like your dynos, they have a drive on lift and it
They're
brings
all
them
in
up.
ground, yeah.
Or they bring them up to the level of where the dyno is. I saw some of that. I was like, wow.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm fucking tired, man. I think the sun took it out of me today. They're like, I'm gonna roast your face a little bit. Like, okay, just a little bit. Just the tip of the face. Just
Just the tip. Well, before we head out of here, guys, do want to mention tomorrow morning on the Good Morning Miners show with me at 9 o'clock in the morning, we will be having a CCX merch and CCX giveaway. So we'll be giving away a t-shirt, tumbler, mug,
Shoot.
and some CCX. So be sure to tune in tomorrow morning, starting at 9 o'clock. So your chance to win some free FA stuff. All right, I'd greatly appreciate it if you tuned in. So do want to end on that for myself before we head out of here.
I see that Goblin put eggs in there, and it's funny. Is that I've gotten 8 eggs from my little chickens.
Yeah.
FA to butt nuggets or FA.
What nuggets? Yo. Oh, they're so tiny
Yes, be sure to
right
tune in
now.
for that. Oh yeah. Depending on the chicken too, there'll be larger eggs or smaller eggs.
Well, they're Easter eggers, and like that. Like I was sitting there talking to one
Medium
of
to large size.
the, right. I was told that they started off
vary.
small.
Yeah.
They're just freshly laying. They'll get bigger. I was like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
hope so, man. It's gonna take like 8 of
Yeah,
those
they're
things.
little tiny things. Look like duck eggs, you know.
Oh god, yeah, they're so teeny tiny. I'm like, man, like 4 of these equal 1.
Yeah. Craziness, man.
I
Crazy.
thought one was dying, and it was like, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? And then all of a sudden they got quiet, and I'm looking out there. I see an egg, and I'm like, oh, that's the noise you guys make.
You're like, my winter plan is coming to a head. I'm going to have omelets every morning.
Right?
Man, how many you got? You still got 12 females? All females?
I have 5.
5? Oh, I thought you got. No, it was my crazy sister that bought a dozen. She ended up with.
Chicken math. I hear it's a thing.
Yeah, chicken math.
Definitely a thing.
Yeah, it's where you think you're gonna buy like X amount of chickens, and you come home with like 3 times the amount because they were so cute.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, give me 2 of those. Oh, give me 2 of those. They're gonna be so cute. And then the guy's like, hey, I'll toss in these 2 since you're buying all of these, and you're like, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
And you're at 24
And
chickens.
then your
so
friend,
far.
then your friend shows you some of his cool chickens. So you're like, oh, I gotta
Trying to
get some of
unload 'em.
those.
Take more chickens. More
That's how
chicken.
it happens.
And you're like, hey, I'm only gonna take 2 of each one, but there was 34 breeds.
68 chickens. Thank you. Oh, craziness. Where'd you get them? Like, where do you go? Tractor Supply?
Yeah.
You know a guy? Know a guy? That's the only place I know to get live chickens.
I know a few other places that McMurray Hatchery. You can order those in the mail order.
Male chickens?
Yeah, you get mailed little chickens.
Really?
Yeah. As long as they're hatched within like the 3 days, they survive travel.
Oh, so what do they package them up while they're hatching?
Right after they hatch, they box them up.
Oh, really? So they send them as like little struggling pinkies.
No, they're not like struggling little pinkies. No. Like they're like walking around, but they can go a couple of days without eating.
Oh, gotcha.
So they've got that window where they can be sent out.
So they're not going to be, starving to death.
Right, and they're in that in between stage. It's like you got. as soon as you get them, you want to get them up underneath the warming lamp, get some food, water into them like right away.
It's just
Even the
weird.
ones that I got, like I had one that was a little lethargic, and I had like, here's the water, here's the food, and like
Yeah,
after
like
a little
rub him a little bit, wake his ass up. You know?
right, and after like a few, like probably about a half hour,
Okay.
45 minutes, he like sprung around really nice. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
like, I guess I won't die. I guess I won't die. It's okay. I was just playing,
These
guys.
people love me.
I was just playing, guys. Don't worry. That's cool, man.
Are not on any antibiotics right now.
Well, that's good too. You don't want to be eating that stuff when they're on the juice.
Yep, I stopped. Like I gave them like it was like mixed in with their feed.
Yeah, when they're starting off, yeah. I
And
mean,
then once they
like,
started getting a little bit closer, I like cut them off of that stuff.
even organic chickens are inoculated. You know, people don't understand.
Not
that.
always.
9 times out of 10, whoever's breeding them gives them a shot before they get rid of them. Or
No.
you have to like give them a shot before you can like eat them or something. I don't remember what it was. Before they're fit for human consumption.
You can opt to inoculate your flock if you want. But that's like an opt out thing. Farmers don't want to do it to the chicks, to the baby chicks, sending them out though. They let it be the owner's discretion if they want to do that or not. And all it's protecting against is like bird flu.
But I mean, if you're getting something from like,
it's not even bird flu. Oh, it's something else. Like they're probably a respiratory disease. Yeah, it's probably like their respiratory disease that they protect against. It. You don't need it. You give the animals the right stuff, and they're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, funny that thing.
Like a good one is American elderberry. You want to use not European elderberry. European elderberry has high levels of cyanide in it.
Oh.
You can still use it, but you got to boil it off first. But elderberry has a lot of immune health like benefits, and one of the things that it also helps with, like chickens, is it helps with avian bird flu.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, I know chickens are.
And if you're getting sick, you just eat
they like
stuff.
to carry lots of things, you know. They're dirty bird. Yeah, dirty bird.
Well, you would be too if you walked around in a lot of poo.
I mean, for these be facts.
Right.
Oh man, where's Oz? Out frickin' stand.
Right. But we need to get up out of here, though. We could sit here talk homesteading forever.
I know, man. We could like probably talk on until like one or more of us starts passing out on stream.
Right. Especially when it comes down to homesteading, because like that stuff's interesting.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I mean, you gotta have
decentralize your money, decentralize your food.
I mean, you're centralizing it, but you're centralizing it at your house. So you're decentralizing it from the distributors.
Right. You're saying no more big box office stuff now.
Yeah. Hey man, I've been hearing stories like if it's wrapped up, it's no good.
Right.
Like,
even their fresh produce is
so good.
Their fresh produce is so waterlogged. Like they push so much water in them to get them to be that big that they basically wash out anything that resembles nutrients and the flavor.
They coat them in dead bug carcasses so the bugs don't eat them.
That's why, like, if you have a homegrown tomato versus store bought, the homegrown tastes better. It's because it hasn't been heavily watered to the point where it washed out the nutrients just to make it get plump.
Oh yeah, water weight. Yeah.
People don't realize it. People just don't realize it. We're getting sick and unhealthy because of the foods we eat. Government's
it's
trying to make us poor and broke by
not our
using the
fault,
money
man.
that they tell us to use.
It's I'd like to tell everybody to, they've changed over to everything is made with seed oils. Seed oils are terrible for you. So
that's just lubricant. I mean, people
Yeah.
want to people want to sit there and consume old school motor oil. They should deserve everything that happens if they want to consume engine oil.
people read the package, they're like, "Oh, this is made with sunflower oil. It must be good." Be like, no, You know how
No,
they get that
it's an oil.
it's not good for you. Don't eat that crap.
Right. There's machining
You
oil.
like inflammation? I love inflammation.
Right.
On that note, Nam is gonna say that DCA Adventure is rated F.
Oh, I know. There's a lot of like Goblin's been dropping those FAs, dude. I mean, I think we should.
The FA eggs.
To all you sexy motherfuckers, DCA Adventure is rated F for fucking awesome. Yo!
Mikhail, stop sleeping on the job. You better get some sleep anyway. You gotta.
Are they
you gotta
kids still
stream to
keeping
run
you up
more
all
and
night?
shit.
Oh, you are muted. Like, I didn't hear nothing.
Oh, no. Well, one, I said I wasn't sleeping. Two, no, he doesn't. He sleeps throughout the night most of the time.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, baby. Oh yeah, of course. No, I was saying
They
you
grow
gotta
up so
sleep
quickly.
because you got to run a stream in the morning.
I
and
do.
do giveaways and stuff so that I can win.
Some awesomeness, yeah, that I'm going to try to win. You can't win it, Gunny, because I'm going to win it.
No, I'm gonna win.
No, I'm going to win it.
I'm going right for the CCX.
Nobody here go watch Mikkel because I'm going to win it. Definitely don't want to go on to Crypto Mikkel's YouTube channel in the morning and watch that awesome
moaning.
stream because I'm just going to win it. So
Yeah,
I'm going to tech man it, dude.
What is it? 9 a.m. Central, 10
That's
a.m.
correct.
Eastern.
Oh,
That
you
is
don't want to
correct,
be
sir.
there because I'm going to win
No.
it.
And if you do show up like 45 minutes late when it actually
Yeah.
counts. It's already
Yeah,
done.
after I've already won.
Yeah.
After half the prizes are given away and we've won now.
yeah,
Right.
You can go see how happy I was in the in the live stream.
That's funny. So, Sadie.
Hey man, that was a good shill, I thought.
Yeah, man, chill it out, baby.
It was definitely worth it.
Right.
And shout out to Conceal and DogeLord Copy for getting the giveaways on.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Oh,
shout out to both
Speaking
of
of
them.
DogeLord, it's what is it? It's still open at this point, isn't it?
Right? Still open at this point.
Yeah, still open, still ready to go.
Still ready to go.
Oh shit! Ooh.
all right. So, with that being said, definitely make sure you go watch Mikkel in the morning. See that awesomeness. We got a mat that just disappears with Gandhi.
Oh, the new one is
The
giant.
link in the live chat is the stream
Giant.
for the morning.
Is that the
Like an
RGB one? Gandhi, is that the RGB one?
No, this is the giant one.
Ah,
This is bigger than our old giant one. It's like
I
6
know,
inches
it's like-
wider than our old giant one,
That thing's huge, dude.
and it's longer too.
That's what she said.
It's like, what is it? It's about 3 inches longer and like 6 inches taller.
damn. That will not fit in my area.
I got an L desk. It'll fit perfectly on the L part.
Like that would go underneath my other my other monitor off to the side here. But I was looking at that RGB one and going, oh, that one looks kind of nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
you know, I don't know. I don't know, man. I was like, I'm
I
gonna
know.
go for the big one. It looks really big.
Go for the big one.
I'm going for the big one. So
I
yeah,
do have Restream
Fuck,
set up
man.
tonight, guys. Or everyone will go push over to DJ's stream. So anyone that is here will go over to DJ's
yeah.
and with him and Hawk
Right.
ranting away.
Are
Hashtag
they playing,
DCA
GTA?
raid, all that good stuff.
Yep.
And has anybody else got anything else?
I don't think so, man.
Nope.
All right. Well, with that being said,
That's Friday.
thank you everybody for being here. All that good stuff. Peace out. Stay savage. We'll see you on the next one. Yo.
Yo.